ya girly is decomposing as we speak. It's some very exciting times. I feel like I'm entering this new era in my life, and it's called the help me era. This is some forced character development that I was just not ready for. Yeah, I have regrets. You and I are about to have so much fun, my dude. You have no idea. Hi, welcome. I'm so happy you could make it. I don't know if you saw my 24-hour reading challenge where I timed myself to read for 24 hours as fast as possible, and I think I did pretty well. So I thought this time around I should try and do 48 hours, because why not? You know what I mean? Life is too short to not try and shorten it even more. So this time around I'm bringing you guys 48 hours of reading timed. I am going to be using my phone for this challenge. We're just gonna have a good old time, my dude, you know, just losing our minds. Well, me. You're gonna watch me lose my mind. So I thought it would be fun to go through my TBR. Oh, wait, can you guys see me? Oh no, did somebody forget to turn on their Surfshark VPN? Hold up, give me just 2 seconds. Looks like we're back on track. Thank goodness that this video is being sponsored by Surfshark VPN so that we don't have to deal with all of that. For those of you who don't know, a VPN is a virtual private network that keeps you safe and protected by encrypting your online data. It also lets you travel virtually anywhere with just the tap of a finger. If you're like me and you suffer from extreme FOMO, don't worry, Surfshark is about to become your new best friend. Surfshark has literally been a lifesaver because most of the series that I love watching are just not available in my country. But thanks to them, I can access an American or European server and gain access to a much wider and more complete catalog of movies and TV shows. You can also get amazing deals from sites like Amazon and AliExpress, even if they're blocked in your country or if you're traveling. I also love that Surfshark is risk-free, and they also offer a money-back guarantee within 30 days of your purchase. Now is the perfect time to start using Surfshark because they've actually given you guys, my fellow simpers, my favorite people, an absolute amazing deal that you do not want to miss out on. So make sure to check out Surfshark VPN at surfshark.deals/throne. Enter my promo code THRONE to get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. Have you ever heard of a better deal than this? I don't think so. So make sure that you take advantage of this. This is just for you, my fellow simpers. Don't let this chance go by. Once again, thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And without further ado, let's talk about my tiny bit ambitious TBR. Okay, it's not tiny. It's definitely not tiny, but it's ambitious. I've been really smart with my TBR this time around because I have different genres, I have different formats. So whenever I feel like my eyes are getting tired, I can switch to an audiobook. Or when I feel like, you know, the book is too heavy, I can switch to my Kindle. I'm combining my strengths. I'm being intelligent about this. I'm using my brain for once. So maybe, who knows, maybe I'll smash my TBR. The very first book that I want to read for this challenge is The Paris Apartment, written by Lucy Foley. I don't know if you watched my March wrap-up, but I've recently been in this huge thriller mood. I've just been having so much fun reading thriller books and murder mysteries, and I think it's just like the intrigue and trying to figure out what's going on. There's just something so fun about that. So I started this one, I think the last week of March. I made it to page 74 and I never continued. I don't know why. I was enjoying the book. I'm interested in the premise, like the concept of it all sounds very interesting. So I feel like this is the perfect challenge to push myself to finish this. And you know, I feel like binging thrillers is a fun time because you get to just feel everything happening all at the same time, and it's very overwhelming, but like in a good way. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a good one. I also have another thriller that I want to read for this challenge. I don't own it physically, but I do have the audiobook, and it's called The House Across the Lake. It's going to be a good time because I already know that I like Riley Sager's writing, and I know that the stories that they come up with are just very entertaining for me. So I feel like this is going to be a good one as well. The next book that I want to read is probably the most ambitious one, and also the one that I am most scared of, because this is actually my most anticipated read of 2023, and I've already heard so many mixed reviews. I'm honestly terrified to read this baby, But hey, I have to take the plunge. I have to stop being a coward and just read Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is the third and final book in the Last Hours trilogy. This has 792 pages, so nearing 800 pages. I think I can read this. I think I can read this. And I also want to read this for this challenge because the previous book, Chain of Iron, I also read for a reading challenge. So, you know, it's meant to be. I need to know how The Last Hours ends. I need to know if my favorite character is going to make it out of this alive. Like, I just need to know. The not knowing is killing me. Then we have some very exciting manga. Oh my goodness. I am so happy that I have these manga to read for this challenge because I'm just gonna show it to you guys. Okay, the first one is this one, Attack on Titan No Regrets Complete Color Edition. If you've never heard of this one, this is basically a prequel in which we're following one of my favorite characters of Attack on Titan, Levi, and it's just him being fantastic, being stunning. Just look at, like, oh my goodness. This was actually a gift from one of my Discord members. And yeah, I need to do it. I need to do it. I just need to do it. I am so incredibly grateful for this gift. Mary absolutely made my day. And then, just like look at this. Mary didn't just get me this. She's, you know, she definitely knows how to manipulate me because she got me this, but then she also got me One Piece. Yes, she got me this omnibus edition that has the first 3 volumes of One Piece, and she's been trying so hard to get me to watch this or to get me to read this, and I've just been like, no, I'm never gonna read One Piece. It's too long, it's too much of a commitment, I can never do this. And so she just went ahead she just went ahead and pulled the most girl boss move that I've ever seen in my life, and she sent me the first 3 volumes of One Piece. So I thought, hey, if I'm going to be reading one of her gifts, I might as well also read the other one and just see how I feel. Who knows, maybe I'll end up loving One Piece and these characters. I don't know, we'll just have to see. I honestly know next to nothing about this manga, this story. I do know it's pretty famous, so we'll just have to see what I think. But this has 600 pages, so it's definitely a chonker, but it's also extremely floppy, probably the floppiest manga that I own, so it does have some bonus points for that. The last manga volume that I have here is Jujutsu Kaisen volume 18. I was waiting for volume 19 to drop, but I'm just too, what's that word? Impatient. Yes, thank you. So I'm just going to read this one for this challenge because I need to know what happened. No flipping. Oh my god, I think I saw Sukuna. The book that I have on my Kindle is called The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. It's written by Eric La Roca? It's written by Eric. And it's a collection of short stories. So, you know, I just feel like I was so smart. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how smart I was with this TBR? Because I have thrillers, I have manga, I have urban fantasy, I have short stories, and I have different formats as well. Like, I outdid myself. This was a very last minute addition to my TBR because I was just watching YouTube, as you do, and I was watching A Frolic Through Fiction's March wrap up, and she was talking about this book. And she said that if you're a fan of Junji Ito, you're going to love this collection of short stories. And I was like, okay, I'm sold. Okay, I need this right now immediately. So yeah, I just went ahead and got it because, like, when in Rome, I'm not in Rome. I don't know why I just said that. This TBR is looking so juicy, so tasty.
Tasty.
And I am so excited to start this challenge. Yes, I'm a little bit scared, but also I am hosting a 48-hour readathon with my Patreons in the weekend. So I'm also going to be having that moral support. I'm going to have my favorite people with me just reading and going absolutely loco. So I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a good time, and I'm just ready to have an incredible reading challenge. Ay, Dios mío. I have my phone with me. I'm going to start the timer. It's going to be a good day. I'm ready, and I hope you're ready as well because it's about to go down. I had to run some errands, so it hasn't been the smoothest of reading days so far, but I did manage to read The Paris Apartment and I finished it. Oh my god. I'm actually surprised at how fun this one was because it's sort of almost like a murder mystery, but then not really, but then yes. Exactly that, my dude. You know, I know you get it because we're one mind. Did I even mention what this story was about? Oh my goodness. Okay, The Paris Apartment takes place in Paris. I'm so sorry. Hopefully that's not a spoiler, but yeah, it takes place in Paris. And we're following this woman. Her name is Jess, and she's currently going to Paris to find her brother Ben, because she needs money. But when she gets to Paris, she can't find her brother, and the place that he's staying at has some very intriguing and very curious neighbors. And when she starts asking questions, she starts to realize that they're all hiding things from her. Like, they all have this huge secret that they just won't divulge to her because obviously she's a stranger, but also she can't find her brother, and she starts to think that maybe they did something to her brother. So she starts inquiring, she starts asking all of these questions, and the plot just goes on from there. It's very interesting, and it honestly kept me on my toes. Like, sometimes with thrillers, I find myself being a little bit like, I'm kind of done with this story. I already know where it's going. Can we just get to where this is going so that I can move on? But with this one, I enjoyed the plot twist. I feel like the author was very creative with where they took the story and how they handled the different situations that were popping up. So, you know, through it all, I was pretty entertained. I honestly don't know why it took me so long to finish this book, but I'm really glad that I finally, you know, put my foot down and I sat down and properly read this book because, you know, I finished it and it was actually really entertaining and really fun. I think I'm going to be giving it 4 stars, but honestly that might change because, you know, I think I'm more comfortable giving this book 3.5 stars. I don't know, like, I'm trying to be more, what's that word, when you're trying to be like more assertive? Thank you. Yes, I'm trying to be more assertive with my ratings and stop using half stars, but sometimes a 3.5 star rating is what hits. And for this one, I think it's going to be a 3.5 star book. It was really fun, but at the end of the day, is this story going to stay with me for days to come? I don't think so. It was just a good time. I really enjoyed it while I was reading it, and that's kind of it. So now that I've finished The Paris Apartment, I think I'm going to continue. Okay, I am so terrified by this. No, I'm not going to continue with the manga. because it's still pretty early in the day, so you know, my eyes, they're doing great, thanks for asking. I think I'm gonna start Chain of Thorns, okay? You know, I have to do it. Mom, I'm so scared, but I have to do this. I need to know what happens to James and Cordelia and Matthew, and I don't really care about Lucy. I'm just having a silly, goofy time for now. Hopefully this good mood persists throughout the day. And yeah, it's time to read Chain of Thorns.
2 hours later.
All right, let's do this. 5 hours and 3 minutes with 12 seconds. We are here. It is currently 9:55 p.m. I've just come back from watching John Wick 4. Fantastic movie. It was so silly. It was so goofy. Probably nobody has ever described a John Wick movie as silly and goofy, but I found myself laughing. If you love Keanu Reeves and if you love action movies, but if you also love, I don't know, just like the goofiness of it all, and yeah, it was a good time. And then before that, I was a little bit naughty and I did not read as much as I wanted to because I started this new K-drama. I know, I am so sorry, please forgive me. But I'm back home and I'm still in a pretty good reading mood. Before I left, I made it to, what is this, chapter 5? Oh my god, why are these chapters so long? I hate it here. I am in the middle of a chapter actually. I usually don't stop in the middle of chapters, but this chapter is very long, and even though I am enjoying it, I had to stop. And that is page 91, so almost 100 pages of Chain of Thorns. Of course, I'm enjoying this. We already have a couple of tabs. Look at them. Stunning, beautiful. I like the speed of the story. I like the pacing. I love that we're slowly, you know, getting reacquainted with the story. It hasn't been that long since I've read Chain of Iron, but the little bits and pieces that we get is sort of like a, here's what you missed in the last hours. I really appreciate that because my memory, I'm basically a Dory, so I really appreciate those little nuggets of past information. And yeah, I'm just, you know, settling in back into the Shadowhunter world. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I want to continue reading Chain of Thorns for the rest of the night, or if I want to start The Trees Grew Here Because I Bled There. The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with book titles. But anyways, I'm not sure which one I want to read now because I'm feeling a little bit horrible. No. That's not what I was going for. I'm feeling a little bit horrific. I kind of want to dive into some horror stories. I want to be appalled by what I'm reading. You know, Chain of Thorns is not really delivering in the mood that I'm currently in. So I think I'm going to be putting Chain of Thorns down for the night. I'll definitely be picking it back up tomorrow in maybe like some reading sprints that I'll be doing with my Patreons. I just want to dive into some horror stories and just see where the night takes us. I have no idea what these stories are going to be about, but yeah, I'm just really excited. The goal for tonight is to finish The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. I don't know how long that's going to take me. I did mention that this has 208 pages, so maybe it'll take me around 3-ish hours, which will be like maybe 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. depending on how concentrated I am. And I think it's going to be good. I can put like some horror movie soundtrack in the background. I can create this whole ambiance. It's going to be great. I'm getting excited just talking about it, and that always bodes well for me in reading challenges. I'm so happy that I scheduled this readathon for a time where I'm like really excited about all the books on my TBR. So I think that's what I'm gonna go do now. Oh my goodness. Are we ready to have the night of our lives, my dude? Oh my god. Okay, here it is. Here we go. Can you see it? Please ignore the naked man. This is the one that we're going to be reading. I'm gonna stop talking now. I hope you guys are enjoying the reading challenge so far. I hope you're rooting for me wherever you are. I need all of the good vibes that you can give me. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into reading. That was insane. I finished at 12 on the dot. And I've been reading, oh my god, for almost 7 hours. I love this. I love this so much. Wait, let me pause it. I am honestly a tiny bit worried for this man, Eric LaRocca. Listen, hi, welcome to my little sofa corner. I am so cozy right now. And even though my eyes are like itching a little bit because I'm not used to staying up so late, you know what I mean? Wait, should I turn on the flashlight? I just finished reading The Trees Grew. The trees grew because I bled there. This was such a good pick for this challenge. It's engaging, the stories are so entertaining and so horrifying and so uncomfortable, especially that last one. Oh my god. Some of these stories were so wild and the descriptions made me so uncomfortable. It's like I wanted to be out of my own skin, like I just couldn't take it. And I love that feeling. Like I love feeling uncomfortable when I'm reading horror books. It's the same feeling that I get when I'm reading Junji Ito manga. I love this person's mind. I don't know if Eric LaRocca, like I don't know what they go by, so I'm just going to refer to them as a they. But I am so interested in reading more of Eric LaRocca's works because their writing, their storytelling, their characters, they were fantastic. Like I can't get over how good this book is and how fast I read it. I basically read it in what, 2 hours? So yeah, 100 pages per hour. Fantastic. I love that for me. If you're planning on reading this book, I want to tell you which stories were my favorite. There's a total of 7 stories. And my favorites were, okay, my number 1 favorite was You're Not Supposed to Be Here. That one was so good. Like I can't stress this enough. It was so good. And then I also really enjoyed The Strange Thing We Become and Bodies Are for Burning. Yep. I mean, all of the stories were good, but those 3 definitely stand out amongst the rest. Oh my goodness, this was such a good book. Like I can't get over how good it was. Now that it's officially Saturday, I'm gonna go to my Patreon and post, you know, to welcome the beginning of the 48-hour readathon. I'm also going to be announcing some reading sprints. I'm not really that sleepy, so I think I'm going to start my other audiobook that I had planned for this TBR, which was The House Across the Lake. Can you see it? There we go, The House Across the Lake. I'm going to prepare all of the things that I need to do for my Patreons, and then when that's done, I might start this one as I start getting ready for bed and just see how I feel. Maybe reach 20% of The House Across the Lake. I really want to reach like the 10th hour, but like that would be 3 more hours of reading and I don't know if I can do that. But hey, where there's a will, there's a way. So I need to change my attitude and I also need to charge my phone. Okay, hi. So yes, I am now preparing my Patreon posts. Wow. There are a couple of things that I need to get ready for my Patreons. I also need to schedule some reading sprints. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. Honestly, I'm having a great time with this reading challenge and it's definitely been a lot easier than I thought it would be. Like I just don't, like why did I do this? You know what I mean? Like why am I crying? So I'm happy, extremely happy with this turn of events. Oop, I have 5 notifications from YouTube. I'm thinking of doing like 4 sprints tomorrow, all like in different times because I do have Patreons from like different time zones and I want to make sure that all of them can participate. So I think the first sprint I'm going to schedule for 9 a.m. So I'm going to go to bed in like 3 to 4 hours and then hopefully when I wake up, I'll be happy to be alive. yeah, so here's hoping that I wake up with a positive mindset and that I'll be able to start my day with some reading sprints. I'm like scared but excited, but like scared but like excited. So let's just be scared and excited together.
So nice.
Hi, how are we doing? How are we feeling? Let me show you. I've been reading for 15 hours, 11 minutes, and 50 seconds. I just finished my first set of sprints. I think we sprinted for like 3 hours or something. I don't know. It was very productive. I did finish one book. I did finish The House Across the Lake, written by Riley Sager, and I did start this as an audiobook, but then I decided to switch to the ebook because I was just feeling the ebook vibes. I just wanted to read on my Kindle. So I went ahead and switched to the ebook of The House Across the Lake, and oh my goodness, my dude, this book was such a surprise. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. I did enjoy this a lot more than The Paris Apartment. I honestly just really enjoyed this one, and I loved all of the twists and turns that Riley Sager came up with and just how convoluted the story got. But at the same time, I don't want to tell you guys anything because I think the reason that I enjoyed this book so much is because I knew absolutely nothing about the story, and when things started to come to light, they were so shocking that it made the book so entertaining and so fun and so rewarding. All I'm gonna say is we're following this woman, Casey, and she's been through things, you know, her life not cute. And she goes to this house that she has near a lake. For some reason or other, she starts to sort of spy on her neighbors, and she starts to see things, you know, that are a little bit worrisome. She thinks that the husband, the neighbor, is trying to kill his wife. So she starts to, you know, she's basically stalking them, but for due reason, and things just start to snowball from there. It's a really interesting story, and it was actually really fun for me to read. So yeah, I'm gonna sit on my rating for now because I don't know if I want to give it 4 stars, but I just really enjoyed it. After finishing The House Across the Lake, I kept on reading a little bit more of Chain of Thorns. I made it to page 129, but I just don't think I'm in a Chain of Thorns mood at the moment. Like, yes, I'm enjoying the chapters, and yes, the ending of chapter 6 had me screaming. Yeah. But I don't know, I'm just like 70% committed to the story, and when I read Chain of Thorns, I want to be 100% committed to it. This is like the main goal for this reading challenge, but I decided to just take it slow. We'll just see. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to, you know, push myself to love this book or to read this book if I'm not in the mood for it. So when I reached the end of chapter 6, I actually switched over to my first manga of the readathon, which is One Piece. I'm probably the last person that hasn't read or even seen the anime for One Piece, but I'm actually very excited to be reading this because it's so many people's favorite anime or just favorite series in general. And from what I've read, I haven't really read that much, but from what I've read, it's a really cute and funny story. Okay, maybe cute isn't the right word, but it is a very funny story, and I already, you know, I kind of like our main character because he's just really cute and he's just really funny. And we meet him when he's really young and he's just like, I want to be a pirate, and he even stabs himself in the face to prove that he's like this strong, courageous boy. And I don't know, he's just adorable. So the story starts with our main character Luffy as a kid, and Luffy's dream is to become the king of the pirates, or the king of the seas. I think it's king of the pirates. And he's also in search of this very famous pirate's treasure, which is called One Piece, hence the title. And yeah, I'm just enjoying the story, but I'm currently extremely hungry, so I did pause, okay? I paused because I need to go eat, my dude. I have been reading for 15 hours, and even though I'm still in a pretty good reading mood, I just need to eat. I need to eat, and I need to, I don't know, maybe watch an episode of my K-drama, you know, just do something that's not related to reading. So yes, that is, oh my god, okay, so there's also one more thing that I have to tell you guys, because ever since I finished The Trees Grew Because I Bled There, I cannot stop thinking about Eric LaRocca. So I decided to get his other book, which is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. It's only, I think, 150 pages, or maybe 200. Actually, I don't know. It's less than 300 pages, and I just want to read more of his works because his writing and his storytelling is just stuck in my brain, and I want to read more books by him. Whenever I'm not feeling the manga, whenever I'm not feeling Chain of Thorns, I'm gonna switch to yet another Kindle book that I randomly added to my TBR. And yeah, now I'm gonna go eat. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later because I am starving. I need to go. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Oh my goodness, we are officially in the 24-hour mark of my 48-hour readathon. Woo! You know, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think I'm going a little bit insane, like just a tiny bit. Like, I've been reading for so long, I kind of don't know what to do if it's not reading. Like, I've tried to put the book down, but then I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do now?
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Since I've officially reached the halfway point of this reading challenge, I thought I would go through everything that I've accomplished, because apparently I underestimated my abilities, my capabilities. I didn't think I would be doing this well, but I've just been so motivated, and all of the books that I've been reading have been incredible. It's just been like this amazing combination of the perfect TBR and also the Patreon reading sprints, and yeah, it's just been incredible. So let's talk about all of the books that I've read for the first 24 hours of this challenge. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself for the next 24 hours. Probably go insane. Yeah, like totally.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it doesn't seem like much, but I did actually read 3 books, I think, because I read the Paris Apartment. Oh no, I read 4 books. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I read the Paris Apartment, then I read The House Across the Lake, then I read One Piece, the first 3 volumes, and then I also read The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. So 24 hours, 4 books, and I also read 614 pages of Chain of Thorns. So I haven't actually finished this book yet, but I'm definitely getting there. Like, you can totally see where I'm, like, where I am right now because of the lack of tabs. But yes, this is, oh my god, look, that is insane. Oh, okay, I've done quite a lot of progress in the span of 24 hours. I'm definitely going to be finishing this in the next couple of hours. That would mean that I only have these 2 books left from my original TBR, and it's definitely not going to take me over 20 hours to finish these 2, so I'm gonna have to improvise. I'm gonna have to read more books. I don't know, I'm just like I don't think I'm capable of making any decisions at the moment. Like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, the atoms are not atoming, the brain cells are not brain celling. My brain is just not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's just been a good time, I guess. Sure. Like, yeah, it's been fun, but also I think I'm going to need like I'm going to need like at least a 2-week break from reading after this challenge. I can already feel it. Like, I am not okay. It's some very exciting times. I feel like I'm entering this new era in my life, and it's called the Help Me era.
Pretty legendary, if you ask me.
I'm literally 3 seconds away from snapping. Yeah. Why do I keep insisting on putting myself in these situations where I just know I'm not equipped mentally? Like, my mental health is not, you know what I mean? Like, cause all of my enemies started as friends, help me hold on to you. Get the timestamp, this is when I've officially lost it. Like, I just don't, like, why did I do this? You know what I mean? Like, why am I crying? Anyways, I think I'm gonna go back to reading now because yes, I still have 24 more hours to go of this, yes, Chain of Thorns ending. Here we go. I did have this very, just look at this. This is probably, I mean, I may have overdone it, but at the same time, it's pretty funny. And whenever I'm flipping through this book, if I ever flip through this book and I look at that, it'll be a good memory to have, you know? It'll be good. So, Chain of Thorns. Should I talk about how? No, I'm not. 40 minutes, 3 seconds, no, 40 hours. It has officially been 40 hours since I started this reading challenge, and I just have to let you guys know, in all honesty, I've reached my limit. I want to cry. I am desperate. I need somebody to hold me. Mama didn't raise no quitter, but I am so close to giving up. So I don't know what to do with this information, but yes, 40 hours into this challenge, meaning I only have 8 more hours to go before these shackles come off. Like, yeah, it just feels like a life sentence at this stage in the reading challenge. But I do have some reading updates because I did nap for like 5 hours. Is that a nap or just like sleep, because I did sleep from like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. But before I went to bed, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I finished Chain of Thorns. This is the final product. Look at her. And then I also finished Attack on Titan No Regrets. This was gorgeous. Such a good time. I would definitely recommend this one. It was just fantastic. I of course had already seen the anime adaptation, but getting to read the manga is just, it just hits. It hits. And seeing all of this in color is just such an experience. I would recommend to every single person. If you like Attack on Titan, you're going to love this. Like, there's just so much to love about this. So yes, I read Attack on Titan No Regrets, and then I also read volume 18 of Jujutsu Kaisen. After I finished those two manga, I was like, okay, I have officially completed my original TBR. What am I supposed to do now? Like, I don't really want to start a brand new book. And then I remembered that on my Kindle, I did say that I wanted to read this one other book by Eric LaRocca, which was Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. This book, the fact that I read this first thing in the morning, it just messed with my mind. Like, this is a very grotesque and just very harrowing story, and it's not even that long, but damn, it packs a punch. This story was so twisted and so haunting, and it kind of felt like I was reading a Junji Ito novel, which, you know, I always love. It was a grotesque story about depravity and the things that we're willing to do for others, no matter if that means putting us in danger and giving them more than we can part with. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just so traumatizing. Yes, it was a very stressful story. It was a very dark and very horrid story, but I would recommend, like, if you like horror books, I would recommend this one. So that's what I did this morning, and then I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Because I've literally finished my whole TBR. I've even read 2 books out of my TBR. What am I supposed to do now? So since I'm still in a pretty good thriller mood, I was like, okay, let me pick up this other book recommendation that I got from Books and Lala, which is The Pallbearers. Oh my god, I forgot the name. Can you tell my mind is struggling? Okay, hold up. The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. Let me tell you, I listened to 3% of the audiobook, and I was like, this is just not doing it for me at the moment. I don't know. So I decided to put it down, and I decided to focus on a classic that technically I am supposed to be reading, but I've been struggling with picking it up, and I was like, okay, why don't I just, you know, take advantage of this reading challenge and pick this book up? And that book is The Brothers Karamazov, written by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I'm actually buddy reading this, but I am so behind on our daily goals because I've not been in the mood for The Brothers Karamazov. But now I sat my butt down and I reached page 222. This is where I am. The people that say that this one is better than Crime and Punishment, I don't see it. I mean, at least I don't see it right now. Maybe it'll get better the more that I read, but these 222 pages have been a struggle to get through. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just like a very religious story, and we have a lot of priests and like a lot of elders that just go on and on about religion and God and sins and like absolution. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I'm just like, can people start dying? Can we start committing some crimes? Because I'm bored. It hasn't been the best of experiences, but hopefully the story picks up soon. I don't think I can take 980 pages of just religious text, so we'll see. But I think I'm going to be dedicating the rest of the readathon to Brothers Karamazov just so that I can catch up with my buddy readers. I still have 8 more hours to go, so like, what else am I going to do? If I get tired of reading the Brothers Karamazov, I might switch to another manga, which would be Yono of the Dawn, but I'm not really feeling manga at the moment, so like, I'm just gonna see how much I can read of this bad boy. I'm about to host some reading sprints with my Patreons, and hopefully they'll motivate me to read, because right now I just kind of want to burn my eyeballs off. You know what I mean? Like, at this moment in time, I would just rather not read for the rest of my life than pick up another book. But hey, We're almost at the finish line. I can't give up now. I just need to do this, okay? So please send your prayers. Send me the best vibes that you can find. I need them desperately. The fact that I'm still missing 8 hours and it's already 2:45, that means I'm going to have to read until 10 p.m. tonight. Like, I've already been reading for 2 days. I can't take this. This is... Yeah, I have regrets. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, I can't believe it's finally here. The time is here. I feel like a totally different person. I feel like I've gone through this metamorphosis. I don't know who I am. I don't recognize myself. This is some forced character development that I was just not ready for. But I did it. Oh my goodness. I have a post-it of everything that I did because for the life of me, I cannot remember this. I cannot keep it straight. I read 10 books. I started and finished 10 books in the span of 48 hours. And I also read 461 pages of another. It feels like what I usually read in a whole month, I read in this span of 48 hours, and I don't know, like I just want to be hugged. I need somebody to comfort me and tell me that I did a good job. But before I break down, let's go through all of my achievements. There were definitely a lot of achievements unlocked in this reading challenge. First book that I finished for this challenge was The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. This one was a 3.5 star. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun time. I liked the thrill of it all. I liked the plot twist. I was content with the ending. It was just a good time. I'm still in a pretty good thriller mood, so if you guys have any recommendations for thriller books, please leave them down below. And then I think I read a little bit of Chain of Thorns, but I wasn't really in the mood for it, so I put it down. And I read The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca. Then I read this one, and this caught me by surprise. I was not expecting to love this one as much as I did. I think I'm going to be giving it 4 stars or 4.5. I don't know, I'm gonna sit on my rating for a little while. Like, I can't make any decisions now, but just know that I really enjoyed this one. It's this collection of short stories, and all of them are so gruesome and horrifying and very explicit and detailed, and sometimes you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm reading this, but at other times you're like, this is what I love about horror books. And then what did I do? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, and then I read The House Across the Lake, which is another thriller book that's written by Riley Sager, and this one I enjoyed a lot more than The Paris Apartment just because it had a few elements that I was not expecting, which made me enjoy the story a lot more. 3.5, 4 stars. I'm still... Let me think about this, okay? Don't ask me to rate books when I'm this sleep deprived and this exhausted, okay? I think after I read One Piece and I really enjoyed this one, I think I'm going to be giving it 4 stars because I just really enjoyed these characters. I really enjoyed Zolo and Luffy, of course. And I don't know, it was just like a good time. It was funny, which I was not expecting. I really appreciate when action-packed stories combine comical elements and make it funny and it's not intense every single minute. So I really enjoyed those aspects of this story, and I'm even considering starting the anime, which I know Mary is going to be over the moon about. I mean, actually, so many people DM'd me when I posted this on my Instagram, and they were like, you've just started the best story of all time. So apparently a lot of people were waiting for me to start this one, so I mean, I'm happy that I liked it. After One Piece, what did I read? Oh yeah, okay. After One Piece, I read Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare, the final installment in the Last Hours trilogy. This is how she looks. This is the final result. Gorgeous. I finished Chain of Thorns. This was an experience that I want to think about more. This one was an experience, and it had some highs, it had some lows, it had some mediums, so I'm not sure what I want to rate it yet, so please respect my silence. I don't like, is it a 3.5, is it a 4-star? I just need to think about it. So yeah, I read Chain of Thorns. It's really hard for me to remember everything that I've done in the last 48 hours. Okay, okay, I'm good, I'm so good. I'm really not, but I'm trying my hardest to be. Okay, so after Chain of Thorns, I read Attack on Titan No Regrets, and this was incredible. I read this right before going to sleep for a couple of hours, and I had the most beautiful dreams. That's all I'm gonna say. So this one was a 5 out of 5. Easiest 5 out of 5, and especially after reading volume, I think it was volume 8 or volume 9 of the omnibus versions of Attack on Titan, which was extremely disappointing. This was like, yes, I still love Attack on Titan. Like every time that I open this book, I just find another thing that I want to show you guys because it's just stunning. After Attack on Titan, I read Jujutsu Kaisen volume 18. I did not know who this character was before I started this volume, but now I do, and I really like him. So I'm excited to see where the story is going because so far it's just really convoluted. So I'm hoping that things start to make sense and that things start to come together, because where we're at the story right now is just like a lot of different elements and a lot of different things are happening all over the place, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I need someone to explain this to me. I really enjoyed this volume, and I'm excited to get to volume 19. Fingers crossed I can get it soon. After that, I decided to read Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke, which is another book by Eric LaRocca. This one, oh my god, oh my goodness. This one was a very horrifying trip. It's basically about this woman who falls into this really toxic and dangerous relationship, and it's really short. It only has like 150 pages. The way that Eric LaRocca tells the story and like the pacing, the details that he decides to give us, and also the format of the story is really captivating, and also it just like pushes the point further that this could happen to you. Like, it's such a realistic story. It makes it even more terrifying because it just feels so real, and it feels like something you would hear about in a true crime podcast, and the details and the graphic descriptions of what is going on is just horrifying. Like, I wanted to crawl out of my skin, and I loved that feeling. So again, I would highly recommend this one if you're a horror fan. Just saying, like, trigger warning for like a bunch of stuff. And then, oh my goodness, what did I do? Okay, then I decided to pick up the Brothers Karamazov because I was very behind on my buddy read, and I needed to, you know, do some damage. And I did. I can't believe I actually did that because I'm not enjoying this book. Like, I can so confidently say I am no longer a Dostoevsky girly. Like, I know I haven't finished this book, but this is just not for me. It just basically reads like Dostoevsky's religious manifesto, and I'm not really into that. Paragraphs on paragraphs on paragraphs of God and loving your neighbor and the sins and how we atone for them and church, and like, I thought this story was going to be so different, especially because so many people told me that this was going to be better than Crime and Punishment. So my expectations obviously were through the roof because I loved Crime and Punishment, and this one, oh my goodness, is just not delivering. When we were doing the Patreon reading sprints, so many people were like, just DNF it, girl, come on, it's not worth it. but hey, I have to. Like, I'm buddy reading this and I own 2 copies of this book, so yeah, I made it to page 461. And well, yeah, yes. That is all I have to say. And then I also read 2 volumes of Yona of the Dawn. I read volumes 26 and 27, and these were great, especially volume 26. I don't like that one, gets a golden star because yes, volume 26. I've been waiting 26 volumes for this, is all I'm gonna say. Plus a couple of ebooks and a couple of audiobooks. These are all the books that I read in the span of 48 hours, a total of 10 books plus the half of another book. I am pretty happy with these results. I don't know, I'm just like too exhausted to talk, like to give you... Diantre, se me fue el inglés, espérate. English, words, vocabulary, yes. I am very happy with the... I'm like falling asleep as I speak. Anyways, okay, let's do this. I am very happy with the results of this reading challenge. Would I ever do this again? Absolutely not. Please don't ask this from me. You know, at the beginning, I think I mentioned that I love pushing myself to the limit and seeing just how far I can go. I found out how far I can go, and this is it. The limit is way back there. I've pushed beyond my limit and I am exhausted. So as a reward to myself, I am now going to go to bed because ya girly is decomposing as we speak. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading challenge. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps my channel out and it helps me keep doing these things. Hey, maybe don't do that. I don't want to keep doing this. Stop, don't do any of that. I just want to leave. No, but I'm kidding. If you feel up to it, if you have a few seconds to spare, please remember to subscribe and like, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment, maybe leave this emoji in the comments so that I know you stayed on to the end and you saw this, my decomposition in real life. I do have a Patreon where I host exclusive... Wait, what? Wait, I know this, I promise I know this. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content, exclusive reading vlogs, and I also host reading sprints with my Patreons, and I also host readathons like this. So if you would be interested in joining my army of premium simpers, I would love to have you. We're basically the found family trope come to life. So if you're interested, the link is down below as always. And once again, once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so very much, obviously, because otherwise I would not put myself through this. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye. I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay.
Hey Jimmy, you nice, keep going.